The medical bay's sterile lights flickered as Zara Morgan pressed her trembling hands against the observation glass. Beyond the transparent barrier, Earth's glittering skyline stretched like a carpet of stars fallen to the ground. Beautiful, she thought, but they couldn't see what was coming. The voices are getting louder. Dr. Voss, she whispered, her reflection pale against the nighttime panorama. They're warning us about something approaching from the outer reaches. Something that hungers. Dr. Elias Voss sighed heavily, tapping his stylus against his tablet. His tailored white coat hung perfectly on his lean frame, the Central Scientific Authority emblem gleaming on his lapel. Zara, we've discussed this. These voices are manifestations of your condition. They're real, she insisted, turning to face him. Her hazel eyes were clear despite 3 days without sleep. I've never been wrong before. Remember the solar flare warning? The subterranean tremors beneath New Shanghai. Coincidences, Elias replied, but his voice lacked conviction. He'd known Zara since they were children, had watched her transformation from a brilliant aerospace engineer to ... This the council has reviewed your case, ostensibly. Zara stepped closer, the hospital gown making her appear smaller than her natural height. And what did your precious council decide? Elias couldn't meet her gaze. Treatment on Neridian. It's a specialized facility for it's a prison planet, Zara cut in, her voice breaking. They're exiling me because I scare them. It's a rehabilitation center, Elias corrected gently. The best xenopsychiatrists in the system are there. Zara laughed bitterly. Xenopsychiatrists? You mean they'll study me like some alien specimen? She reached for his hand, her fingers warm against his. Elias, please. We've known each other too long for this. You know there's something more happening here. For a moment, something softened in his expression. His fingers twitched as if to return her touch. But professionalism reasserted itself. He pulled away. The transport leaves tomorrow morning, he said quietly. You'll be treated well, I promise. That night, Zara sat alone in her room, staring at the ceiling as the voices whispered urgent warnings. The coming darkness. The hunger between stars. A tear slipped down her cheek as she realized no one would listen until it was too late. Morning came too quickly. 2 security officers flanked Zara as she boarded the transport vessel. Elias stood at the loading dock, his face a mask of professional detachment. Don't do this, she pleaded one last time as they passed him. For a brief moment, his composure cracked. I'm sorry, Zara. I truly am. The transport doors sealed with a hiss, cutting off his final apologetic glance. As Earth shrank to a blue marble outside her window, Zara pressed her forehead against the cold glass. They'll understand soon enough, she whispered to herself as the stars streaked by. When what's coming finally arrives, the voices hummed in agreement. Louder now that she was heading toward the outer reaches, toward the very danger they had been warning about all along. The prison transport shuddered as it entered Neridian's atmosphere, the planet's crimson clouds parting like a curtain of blood. Zara's restraints dug into her wrists as turbulence rocked the vessel. Through the small viewport, she caught glimpses of a barren landscape dotted with angular structures, a far cry from Earth's gentle curves and natural beauty. Arrival in 5 minutes, announced a mechanical voice. All prisoners remain seated. Prisoners, not patients. At least the system was honest about something. The ship touched down with a jolt that rattled Zara's teeth. As the loading ramp descended, harsh violet light flooded the cabin. Neridian's twin suns cast an unnatural glow over everything, making the guards' faces appear ghost-like. Move, ordered a voice both melodic and cold. Zara looked up to see her first. Ridian, with smooth purple skin that seemed to shimmer slightly in the light. His uniform bore markings of authority, and his amber eyes regarded her with detached curiosity. I am Kyrell, Chief Security Officer of Quadrant 7, he said. His pronunciation of human language surprisingly fluid. You will be processed and assigned quarters appropriate to your ... condition. My condition? Zara couldn't help but smile bitterly. You mean my ability to hear what's coming to destroy us all? Kyrell's expression remained neutral, but something flickered in those amber eyes. The humans have sent many like you. Those who claim to hear voices, see visions. He leaned closer, his voice dropping. The difference is, most arrive screaming. You seem ... certain. As he guided her through the processing center, Zara noticed how other Neridians gave Chiral a wide berth. Respect or fear, she couldn't tell. Her cell, they called it a residential unit, was small but clean. A bed, a desk, a window overlooking the red desert beyond the compound. Better than she'd expected for a prison at the edge of the galaxy. The medical evaluation begins tomorrow, Chiral informed her as the door sealed. Rest well, Earthwoman. That night, the voices came stronger than ever before. Urgent, almost frantic. They spoke of shadows moving between stars, of hunger, ancient and patient. And for the first time, they mentioned Neridian by name. Zara sat bolt upright, sweat dampening her standard-issue clothes. They're coming here first, she whispered to the empty room. Why here? She didn't sleep again that night. 3 weeks into her treatment, Zara had learned the rhythms of Neridian life. The facility operated with mechanical precision meals. Therapy, recreation, all scheduled to the minute. Dr. Mayles, her assigned xenopsychiatrist, seemed more interested in studying her than helping her. The voices spoke again last night, Zara told the purple-skinned doctor. They're becoming more specific. Coordinates, time frames. Dr. Mayles made notes without looking up. And what do your voices say is coming? Exactly? They call it the void between. A consciousness that consumes other consciousnesses. It's drawn to collective thought in this facility is like a beacon. The doctor sighed. That will be all for today. Later, in the facility's garden, concession to human prisoners. Need for open space? Zara noticed Chiral, watching her from the perimeter. Unlike the other guards, he seemed genuinely curious about the prisoners. Over the weeks, they'd exchanged brief words, moments of unexpected connection. You're not sleeping, he observed, approaching her bench. Zara shrugged. Hard to sleep when you know something terrible is approaching. These voices, he began. Don't, she interrupted. I've had enough dismissal from the doctors, to her surprise. Chiral sat beside her, his movements fluid and careful. Up close, the patterns on his purple skin resembled constellations. My people have stories, he said quietly, of ancestors who heard the stars speak. They were called listeners. He glanced around to ensure they weren't overheard. They saved our world once, when the great burning came. Zara's heart quickened. You believe me? I believe something is happening. The communication systems have been experiencing interference patterns no one can explain. His amber eyes met hers, and I've been having dreams. Dreams of darkness moving between stars. For the first time since arriving on Neridian, Zara felt hope kindle within her. The voices say we have weeks, maybe less. Chiral's hand moved slightly, his fingers almost brushing hers before pulling back. This facility has a deep space observatory. For research, supposedly, if something is approaching, ... we could see it. Zara finished his thought. But how would we get access? A faint smile touched Chiral's lips. Perhaps the chief security officer of Quadrant 7 might have some influence. That night, the voices were clearer than ever, and for once, they didn't just speak of warning. They spoke of Chiral, of trust, of bonds formed across the stars. And as Zara drifted into uneasy sleep, she dreamed not of darkness, but of amber eyes, and the gentle touch of a hand with purple skin against her own. We shouldn't be here, Chiral whispered as he guided Zara through the dimly lit corridor. The observatory tower loomed above them, its massive dome gleaming under Neridian's twin moons. Neither should the thing that's coming, Zara replied, her heart racing with both fear and something else. Something that sparked whenever Chiral's hand brushed against hers, the security panel. Recognized Chiral's biometrics with a soft chime. Inside, the observatory was a marvel of technology, a blend of Neridian crystalline computers and standard human interfaces. The dome above was transparent, revealing a tapestry of stars more vibrant than anything visible from Earth. I've programmed the telescope to scan the coordinates from your ... Voices, Kyrell said, his fingers dancing across the control panel. His voice held doubt, but his actions showed trust. Zara stood close beside him, their shoulders almost touching. Thank you for this. For believing me enough to try? His amber eyes met hers. I've reviewed your file. The incidents on Earth that you predicted there, too precise to be coincidence. His voice softened. And there's something about you that feels ... familiar. Like an echo of the old stories, the telescope hummed as it repositioned, searching the designated sector of space. For several minutes, nothing happened. Zara began to worry had the voices led her astray. Then the screen flickered. Data streams erupted across the display. That can't be right, Kyrell murmured. Leaning forward, the readings showed a vast anomaly, a physical object, but a ripple in space itself. Moving toward the Neridian system with impossible speed. It's absorbing radiation. Light. Even communication signals, Zara said. Her fingers tracing the patterns on the screen, just like the voices described. The void between Kyrell's composure cracked. This is beyond anything in our scientific understanding. Which is why they didn't believe me on Earth, Zara said bitterly. It doesn't fit their models, so it must not exist. A proximity alarm suddenly blared. Kyrell tensed. Security patrol. We need to leave now. They slipped out through a maintenance passage, Kyrell leading Zara with a firm but gentle grip. As they reached a junction, voices approached from both directions. Trap.Kyr single quotes all pulled her into a narrow alcove.
Of course.
Their bodies pressed close in the darkness. Zara could feel his heart beat faster than a human's against her chest. If they find us, she began. They won't, he promised. His breath warm against her cheek. The guards passed without noticing them, but neither moved immediately. Something had shifted between them in that moment of shared danger and discovery. The facility administrator needs to see this evidence, Zara whispered. Everyone needs to be warned. Kyrell's expression darkened. Administrator Vex won't listen. She sees this facility as her kingdom, you humans as subjects for study, not equals. Then what do we do? His hand found hers in the darkness, fingers intertwining. We need to contact Earth, and we need to prepare Neridian. Both our worlds are in danger. As they slipped back toward the residential sector, Zara felt the voices quieting for the first time in months. Instead of their frantic warnings, there was a sense of ... approval, as if she had finally found the path they had been guiding her toward. All long and perhaps, she thought as she glanced at Kyrell's determined profile. She had found something else, too, something neither of them had expected to discover across the gulf of stars and species. 3 days after their discovery in the observatory, Zara paced her small room like a caged animal. The void between was now less than a week from reaching Neridian, according to her calculations. Kyrell had been mysteriously absent, and she feared the worst, that he'd been discovered, punished for helping her. When her door slid open unexpectedly, she braced for security guards. Instead, Kyrell stood there alone, his uniform disheveled, a bruise darkening the purple skin along his jawline. What happened? She asked, reaching instinctively to touch his face. I showed the evidence to Administrator Vex, he said, leaning slightly into her touch. She accused me of fabricating data to support a human delusion. When I insisted, she relieved me of duty. Zara's heart sank. So we've failed. No, Kyrell's eyes gleamed with determination. I've contacted others who believe a small resistance within the facility, and he hesitated. I've managed to access a long-range communication array. Hope surged within her. You contacted Earth. Better. I bypassed Earth authorities and sent your data directly to Dr. Elias Voss. Zara froze at the mention of Elias's name. How did you know about him? Your file, Kyrell admitted. It mentioned your history. That he was once your colleague, your friend. Perhaps more. And once the person who sent me here, she said bitterly. He responded almost immediately. Kyrell continued. He believes you now, Zara. The anomaly has become detectable from Earth's observatories. He's mobilizing resources, but they won't arrive in time. she finished his thought. Kirill nodded grimly. We need to evacuate the facility. And to do that, we need to break out, Zara concluded, a plan already forming. Their escape plan was elegantly simple. The facility's alarm systems were designed to keep prisoners in, not to handle an external threat. Kyrell's security clearance, though suspended, still worked on emergency protocols. As the facility's night cycle began, they triggered environmental alarms in sequence, creating chaos while avoiding casualties. Prisoners and staff alike evacuated to the designated shelters, all except Zara Kyrell and his small band of believers. They commandeered the communications center, broadcasting the truth to all of Neridian and beyond. With the evidence now undeniable, even Administrator Vex couldn't suppress the warning. Evacuation ships are launching from all sectors, reported one of Kyrell's allies, her purple skin paler with stress. But many won't make it in time. There's another way, Zara said suddenly. The voices in her mind speaking with perfect clarity for the first time. The facility's psionic dampeners, the technology they use to suppress the mentally gifted we, can reverse it. Kira looked confused. To what end? To create a shield, Zara explained. The void between feeds on consciousness, but a projected field of unified thought could repel it. Redirect it. It was theoretical, dangerous, and their only hope. As evacuation continued, Zara and Kyrell worked feverishly to reconfigure the dampeners. When the moment came to activate the shield, they stood together at the controls. If this fails, Kyrell began. Zara silenced him with a kiss, impulsive, unexpected, bridging the gulf between their worlds. When they parted, both seemed equally surprised by the intensity of the connection. It won't fail, she promised. Not now that I've found something worth fighting for. As the void between descended upon Neridian, Zara activated the shield. Pain lanced through her mind as the dampeners amplified her connection to the voices rather than suppressing it. Kyrell held her steady, his strength flowing into her. The darkness above the facility churned and writhed, seeking entry, finding none. Through tears of effort, Zara watched as the anomaly paused. It slowly began to change, course diverted from its path toward inhabited worlds. Later, as relief ships from Earth arrived with Elias among them, Zara stood on the observation deck with Kyrell, their hands joined as they watched the void between retreating into deep space. The voices are quiet now, she said softly. And you? Kyrell asked. Will you return to Earth? Zara turned to him, seeing not an alien, but simply the one who had believed when no one else would. I think, she said, smiling as she squeezed his hand, that I've found where I belong above them. The stars of two worlds shone together, no longer separated by fear or misunderstanding, but united against the darkness between.